So when you're in there in the city, just competing in Beast games, do you have access to technology, a phone?
No. So the moment you kind of check in, you check in your laptop and your phone, and they seal it so it's only in like a bag that's assigned to you, and they put it in a kind of a locked room. And I didn't have my phone from early August until the middle of September. So it was like 5 weeks where I went without my phone, without any internet.
How do people contact you if there's an emergency? Is there a person that someone could reach?
Yeah, so the Beast team did an awesome job of kind of letting your emergency contact know what's the status in the game. So after every challenge, my wife would get a text and go, "Hey, by the way, Jeffrey made it to the top 500. Jeffrey made it to the top 250." And then it was like, Jeffrey made it and is traveling to Panama for the island. So it's like kind of cool that she can take this and show my son Jack, like, "Hey, guess what? Here's what Dad's doing." So they keep them in the loop. And yeah, there's obviously emergency contacts that the Beast team can reach out to and vice versa.
I would if I were your wife, I'd get so excited to be like, "Oh my gosh, top 250. Oh my gosh, top 100," and like receive those texts.
It was like, I don't know. I heard it was like a last minute thing that they were going to do to the contestants. And I'm like, that is like brilliant. It's like just a great way to keep the families engaged. But yeah, it was when I first chatted with my wife and son, Jack, they're like, it was awesome. Cause it's just like, "Hey, any updates? How's he doing? What's going on?" Yeah, it's just a brilliant way, I think, that Beast could keep people involved.
To me, it's shocking that it was like 5 weeks for Beast games, because as a viewer of Beast games, I thought it was like maybe like a week or 10 days.
That's what it felt like.
But 5 weeks is like way longer. How was it being disconnected from society, like reality, for that long?
Oh, I mean, the first 3 days are hard. The first 3 days, like, oh my God, like you're just like everybody's phantom reaching for their phone.
Yeah.
And then, I'd say probably day 4, day 5, you kind of go, "Oh my gosh, this is awesome." Like, I feel like I'm in the 90s again. I'm a child of the 90s. I think I had the best time to grow up. I was born in 80, so I got to live like 6th, 7th grade, ride my bikes. No one knew where I was. And then I get the internet in high school. Like, it was perfect. So it was awesome to be disconnected. And it just forced people to chat with others and get to know others.
It's funny you mentioned when you were born, because we were doing research on you, and Wikipedia said 1980 or 1981.
Oh,
and so now they could put us as the source.
Nice.
For 1980. We got it, guys.
Exactly. You pulled it out.
Aside from your family and friends, what did you miss most about being aware of what's going on?
I love to take in information, and, it's just nice to know kind of what's going on, or, I think one thing that like really stuck out to me was like, "Hey, what's the price of Bitcoin?" Like, so it was just an interesting time to not have constant information coming in. But I kind of got my fix. I was able to get it like by asking questions to people and getting to know people. I got weirdly obsessed with numbers while I was there, like memorizing people's numbers, because we were known by our jersey numbers. But family and friends the most. I talk to even my mom and dad often. And it's just like not having those connections is tough.
What are your first impressions during the Las Vegas round? This was the first round where 2,000 people competed down to 1,000.
Yeah, I questioned signing up at the time. I was like, what am I doing here? Like, I am a fish out of water, silver-haired. I don't know a single soul. I treat it like a networking event. I was going around sitting at different tables. Some people are like, "Why are you sitting here?" Other people are like, "Oh, hey," and I think I got over kind of being an introvert. And I'm like, okay, I feel good. But I look around, I'm like, there's so many people here. Like, what are we doing in Allegiant Stadium? In my mind, I thought we were going to the Mirage 100%. I don't know if you remember being in Vegas, the Mirage just closed down in mid-July. And so I was like, oh, what a perfect place for MrBeast to have it. You have 3,000 rooms. Like, so I was looking at the Mirage map and memorizing where stairwells are. Like, I was so geeked out, on this stuff. And even in my hotel, I was like memorizing serial numbers underneath the lamps. Like, I thought the games had already started. Again, I've never done any of this before. So I was just totally in my head. But once I kind of met other friends in the stadium, Patrick 930 stopped me in the hallway and started asking me questions. Just like you said, he's like, "Who do you model for?" He goes, "You order from Willamea, or do you know Patricia Milan?" I'm like, I have no clue what you're talking about. Like, I have zero clue what you're talking about. And just him and I hit it off like that. And once I felt like I had friends, I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but at least I'm doing it with people who I can be friends with. And that's that's how it all started in Vegas. And Vegas was a trip.
Why do you think there's so much controversy around the whole Vegas thing? Because I've seen like right after that happened, there was a whole bunch of just people talking about the poor conditions or that they were being mistreated.
Yeah, I think anytime you're doing something for the first time, it's hard. Then you factor in it's 2,000 people in the middle of the night. So I think the logistics were challenging. But I also think there's, for me, my experience was if I'm going to go compete for $5 million, I don't expect it to be the Ritz-Carlton. I don't expect it to be kind of the most lush bedding. I thought we were going to rough it a little bit. And so, yeah, we all got sleeping bags. We slept on the floor. We got 3 meals a day. Like I ate every single bit of my meals. Some people didn't like the meals. So I think it was a little bit of, some people might have been disgruntled, but my experience was exactly what I signed up for.
So at that time, what were the meals?
Chicken, starch, rice or quinoa, some vegetables. We had oatmeal, we had hard-boiled eggs. You had 3 meals a day, but it was kind of weird because most of the filming was at night. So we would kind of eat breakfast at night. So we'd have breakfast and then we'd have lunch while we're filming and then like dinner after we're done filming. And sometimes we'd have dinner, like 5 o'clock in the morning. So it was it was a ton of fun. I mean, it was one of those things where it was only 4 days, but it felt like I was there for weeks. But it was one of these things where anytime there was an issue, especially in Vegas, they were attentive to it. I mean, they kind of got after it. And then once we got to the Beast Games on Prime, oh my gosh, like it was like the best accommodations, best food. The bedding in the city was fantastic. So I have no complaints for Vegas or Toronto, but I can definitely see where some people might go, gosh, I wasn't used to the conditions, but for me, it was exactly what I expected. They push you every single way, emotionally, psychologically, even physically, but like you kind of leave there smiling like that was great. I wouldn't change a thing.
But before we get into that, men, real talk for a second, we are all afraid of losing our hair. And whether that's a receding hairline, thinning at the crown, or just thinning in general, the fear is there. But fortunately, there is a solution, and that would be our sponsor, Hims Hair Loss Solutions, where you could join hundreds of thousands of subscribers who got their flow back.
Hims offers a 100% online process that provides access to a range of hair loss treatments that work, all from the comfort of your couch, making treating hair loss simple with doctor-trusted treatment options and clinically proven ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil that can regrow hair in as little as 3 to 6 months.
And if swallowing pills is a challenge for you, no problem at all, because Hims also has a serum, spray, and chewable options.
The process is simple and it's 100% online. Just answer a few questions and a medical provider will determine if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your treatment will be sent directly to your door.
So guys, start your absolutely free online visit today at hims.com/ICH.
That's HIMS.com/ICH for your personalized hair loss treatment options, or you could click the link down below in the description. HIMS.com/ICH.
Results vary. Based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil, prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Thank you to Hims for sponsoring this episode, and back to the podcast.